3, 1.
This gentleman is Manuel Robles, and he's my veteran for the Veteran Questions Project. What war were you in?
Let me see now, it's been so long. It was World War II, which began in December of 1940.
Did you enlist or were you drafted?
My golly, I wanted to enlist, but I didn't. I was drafted.
How old were you when you were drafted?
18 and a half.
What was your job in the army?
I was a soldier in the engineering section.
Where were you stationed?
In various places, but we started here in the United States in Boot Camp, Oregon, and Boot Camp located in Oregon. And would you wish me to take you a little trip?
All right.
From Portland, Oregon, we drifted over to the East Coast, and from thence we went to England. In England, the outfit that I was going to join was at the African campaign. And their fight was going full blast, and it lasted about 6 more months. So that I sat and waited in England doing various military duties until they returned. And waited there. Never did we think for the tremendous invasion of June 43. That's when we invaded France. Thanks.
What was your rank?
Pardon?
What was your rank?
Corporal.
Who were you fighting against?
The Germans.
What was an average day like when you woke up and stuff?
In England, it was pretty constant. Got up, and we were assigned duties, almost like jobs, so that and it was very peaceful. Although the major part, and we were not there, of England was being bombarded daily, 6 hours straight, from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon to 10 o'clock at night. Every day there, you would hear the sirens, and you'd head for the underground, and you stayed there until the next morning. So that our day started by fixing up what the damage was done from the day before, and getting ready for that day. It was one day at a time, and all the damage that was being done. And they never, for the year that we were there, the planes never failed.
What kind of damage did you fix?
Well, very little mortal damage that people got killed, because the people knew exactly what to do. They had these dugouts, and they headed for the dugout as soon as the sirens let go, and they had their cookies or their muffins, the bread that they had made for the evening, for the rest of the evening, until not till the next morning did they come out. So there were just damage, and there were to homes, because we weren't living in the factories so that it was just personal heart damage, which just hurt the people individually.
How did the war change your life?
Oh, that's not easy. It changed it. I guess the most. It's not just one thing. Of course, I was there 3 years. I got 3 years older, but I think 3 years older than I would have gotten anywhere else, and maybe not as much as, because we aged every day on the same thought. Is that bomb? Because we were on fire all the time. Until the Germans lost, until we won the war, we were bombed and fired at on a daily basis. So that I'd say that it changed us to accept today for today, because it really was difficult to look at it tomorrow.
After the war, did people treat you different at home?
Yes, especially immediately. The country was so beautifully arrayed to waiting for us that we had, I for one, had to smile and feel good and proud. We won the war. It wasn't an easy war. As a matter of fact, I think that we won the war was a result of our preparation and doggedness, and there was a dedication. We were dedicated. They started it, we're going to finish it, and we did. Yes, very much. It made men out of us.
After knowing what the war is like, would you still have gone and fought for our country?
I believe only if I knew, like we did now. There was no doubt why we were there, and we were all there 100%. Yes, I think we would if we knew in a similar manner why we were going to war. If we had to, like now, like in this World War II, we had to. I think the answer would be yes.
How was your personality from after the war?
How was my personality changed?
Yeah.
I grew up. I was a very happy person, and loud and everything. And I come back sort of somber, sort of quiet, tired, older personality now. Recognized, not that it came little by little. It didn't come little by little. It came in at that time when we went in, and it was still there when we come out.
If there were another war today, would you encourage people to enlist?
No, I could not do that. Each person, in order to be a good soldier, in order to be a good to his country, to the purpose of the war, has to understand it, and has to see that feel that he's against it. He's going to go out there and he's going to fight, not because he's being pushed.
How long were you in the war for yourself?
3 years plus a few days, a couple of months.
Did you feel glory after the war was over? Did you feel the same?
No. There was a sense of accomplishment. And it was an accomplishment drawn and brought about by total people. All the people were grateful. They were with us all the time. They were working. And it was an all-out effort. And it was so big that we felt it over there, we felt it when we came back, and it lasted for some time.
Are you proud of our country as it is today?
Would you please repeat?
Are you proud of the country, like, for what it's done and, like, today, like, how it is today? Are you proud of the country?
I want to compare it as to the pride I had when I got off the ship, when we went home after the war. But it's mellowed. It's mellowed down to peace, thank God. It's mellowed down to peace. And I think it's not the same anymore. I think it's a thing that our efforts in the war did not go without this end of peace, this what we're living now. And I say thanks for that even today, again and again and again.
What was the day like on the battlefield? What kind of things did you see?
What kind of a day in the battlefield?
Yeah.
Well, that varied daily and consistently in that we were shot at either with bombs, big, or bullets, or all these new mechanisms to drive the different types and sizes of bombs that would either blow up half the city or half the block, or maybe just the middle of your platoon of what they were firing at. I'd say that yeah, it's gained its recognition, and the people are going to be cautious of this hateful, killing manner of conducting our disagreements. I think all this is born from disagreement. That's not the solution. And I think the world may have recognized it more than just us.
But to dodge the bullets, do you have to get down on the ground over the trenches? Or?
Oh yeah. You never stand up. And if you're standing up, you dive. You dive. You don't wait and say, how about a chair? No. You hit it in the middle of the rocks and you bruise yourself or whatever. But that's not it. You know that the closer you are to Mother Earth, the less chance you have of that bullet skimming and getting you.
How did you feel when you were first told that you were being sent to the war, to the army?
I wasn't surprised in the sense that, gee, I was surprised because I didn't know of it. Because we knew that's what we were there for. But there was a sense of not knowing. What is a war? Just like the questions that you're asking. What is there? What's going to happen? And we had been trained well and amply. But 99% of us had never been there. And so that I think we went in there just as new as anybody else. We were chickens, brand new. Every moment, every day, we were just a little bit wiser because it's different every day. It's different. The bomb never falls in the same place twice. The hole is already there. Another one and another one and another one and another one. And it's different. So that I say that this thing started as babes and we ended as men. We didn't know and we ended knowing.
Now those holes that you were talking about that the bombs made?
Craters.
Yeah, the craters, did you use those to hide in? Or?
Yes, absolutely. You crawl through versus looking for the level side instead of going up and coming and going down and coming, unless it was obviously that there was nothing in sight. Yes, I'd say they were generally used, or even for cover. Maybe they were still out there. So we remained there day two.
Were you sent with anyone you knew, or did you know anybody when you were sent?
Whether you knew, we knew, everyone knew everyone. In other words, talking about who's everyone. Well, whoever I was with, whether it be a platoon or 12 or a squad, whatever group it was, you knew them and they knew you. You may not even know the name, but you knew them, and there was a kinship. You were in this pot, and one for one and one for all. That really was felt and carried out. Yes, we knew each other.
What kind of equipment did you have by yourself, just as one? What were you armed with?
Well, we were specifically at one time. I say half the time that we spent in the war, not because you would all be everyone gets pulled back and spends an equal time resting and catching up and maybe not going back because you're too wounded or whatever. And I think that we spent our time making it safer for us and livable, which caused a lot of real kinship. We were friends, not because we had met or anywhere else. We had lived together, read together. Just there was a totality in our feelings and our thoughts. Hey, come here. And if you needed help, you had help. If you needed support, somebody to talk to you, they were there. They were there. We all. There was an understanding that was, to me, to this day, remarkable.
In the boot camp, before you went, do you think you were trained like enough before you went to like be prepared for what was coming ahead?
Yes, as much as it's practical, because of over 50% of what I would call preparedness. In other words, this is what I should know. You're never going to get until you get into it. Like you prepare you, well, now look, supposing they shoot you, and supposing you're hit, and supposing this happens, well, this is what you're going to do. Do you remember? Can you show and so forth? And we had a lot of good stuff, a lot of good people. It doesn't mean anything until you say it's true. Gee, it happens to you, and you feel it. Yeah, I remember now. And of course, you have this recall. But I'd say that most of it is learned right on that first day, the second day, and it just becomes all of a sudden you're part of it.
Do you feel like as you go on in the war, you gain more senses to where to be and not to be?
Give me that again.
Like, do you, when you, the longer that you're in the war or in the army, like on the battlefield, do you feel like the longer you are, the better senses you come to, like to have to be there or not?
In a way, yes. And that way is that you accept it. Versus when you got there, you won't accept it, so you're fighting it. It becomes more difficult. You fight in the sense that you're not going to die, they're not going to get me. This other way, if I get caught, well, I get caught. I gotta go, my time is up. But this is not the way that you can feel at the beginning. Yeah, I say that we got enough so that we proceeded and grew and aged, with some knowledge, because we had gone through so much that it wasn't impregnated. A lot of us didn't believe it. But as it happened, it became part of us.
Do you still know anybody from the war that you have fought with or anything?
No, they lasted. I'd say that for the first 5 years. First 5 years, there was through letters or people. But you remember me? They'd be coming from across the country, and they were passing by, and they remember Robles from Company C and so forth. And yeah, and then amazing how you'd open the door, come on in, sit, gee, my knee, you look great. So yes, but now it's almost 50 years ago, and there's very little. Maybe it was nothing. And it really is nothing other than maybe your reflexes move a little funny. There was a time, and I'd say it lasted at the most for me, and I guess most people, I'm no different there, 5 years. Some maybe 2, some maybe, everybody had a little bit now, a year before it wore off. 5 years is a long time. And now, I'm still looking for 2 friends, and that now I'm living in Texas. And they were from Texas. Tough, and just help the morale of people, because they could take anything. And I haven't found it. They were about maybe 3 years older, so they'd be maybe about close to 80. I mean, but I'm still looking for it. So that we tried to hold it, I guess, but not go too far.
So you feel like you bond with people?
Oh yes, yes. And the bonds break because you don't want to bring the world war with you, but you don't want to bring the few good to heart, like souvenirs. That's what we become. Getting faster.
If you could describe the war in one word, what would you be? What would the word be?
See, that's a tough one. Hooray! It's no joke. Thank God. Maybe. Thank God. It's 2 words, huh? I'm glad that you asked, and I hope that you're some good.
That's the end, and I'd like to thank Manuel Robles.
Thank you.